Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper, and what do you say? Let's take a look at the news from the national governing body of our sport, USA Wrestling. We start in Toronto, Canada. That's where wrestling is now underway at the 2015 Pan American Games. That event features nations from the Western Hemisphere, and it only happens every 4 years. USA Wrestling's own Craig Sesker and Richard Emmel are north of the border and will be providing complete coverage from the event for next week's show. They also attended the final workouts and talked with some of the American stars prior to the Greco-Roman competition Wednesday and Thursday. We start with 2014 world bronze medalist Andy Basic. He'll see action at 165 and hopes to kickstart the U.S. momentum.
I think that it'd be nice to kind of get this out of the way and build something to build on. A little pre-world tournament, and it's not too far from the U.S., so it's not like traveling all the way overseas when the worlds are going to be in the U.S. So it's nice just to kind of a few-hour time change and then back to
a little easier than Tashkent, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
World Military Championship silver medalist John Anderson will look to make his mark at 187.
It's been amazing. Little hashtag going around, Pan Amazing, but it really has been.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The village is top notch. The food is great. The training facilities are great, and everything's taken care of. We're just focusing on going out there and performing.
How are you feeling coming in? Obviously, you were a replacement coming in. Didn't know right off the bat that you were coming. So how's that transition been for you, getting ready for this?
I'm always ready. Doesn't matter if it's 1 day heads up or 1 month. I'm always ready to roll and represent the United States.
National Greco-Roman coach Matt Lindland was a Pan American Games Greco champ himself and has high expectations for his team.
In 2011, the U.S. did not have any champs. Obviously, we've got some guys in contention here. Just talk about our team and our chances.
But this year at the Pan Am Championships, we had 3 champions. Unfortunately, 2 of them were weight classes that we don't have here. But Robbie Smith is here. He was our champion. And I think we got some guys that are performing. They're getting ready to peak. Obviously, we want to peak for the World Championships, but we want to have a good performance here. And so, we've prepared our guys. We did a little camp up in northern Michigan. Came back to Colorado Springs and recovered a little, and the guys are ready to peak for this and put on a good performance. I'm very optimistic we're going to have some medals and hopefully some gold ones that go along with those.
Women's freestyle takes place Thursday and Friday with 4 Americans gunning for the gold. 2-time world champ Adeline Gray will compete in her first Pan American Games as the favorite at 165.
Yeah, this is my first games, and I don't know if people understand that World Championships are just with one sport. And anytime the games is behind something, it means all the sports are coming together. So I'm seeing friends that I trained with at the Olympic Training Center and other sports I've never even heard of. So it's been fun to sit and chat with, the lacrosse players and the field hockey and different team sports that we don't ever get to interact with. So it's been a pretty amazing experience so far. Anytime you're bringing that many countries together in a big sporting event like this is something special.
Well, the men's freestyle team will close out the action, and they'll be led by Olympic and 2-time world champ Jordan Burroughs. He won gold at the 2011 Pan American Games in Mexico and looks to add another title to his list.
How motivated are you for this opportunity?
Extremely, more than I've been ever, I'd say, in my career. I always had a chip on my shoulder because I wanted to prove people wrong, but now I'm chasing a legacy of greatness. And so, I don't want to just win 1 or 2. I'm not satisfied with that. I want to win multiple. I want to be labeled as one of the greatest. I want to pass John Smith. And I don't say that in a disrespectful manner, but that's the benchmark that he set that I hope to pass.
Past junior world champ Kyle Snyder will make his debut at a major senior level event at 213.
Super excited. I'm really happy that it's the Pan Am Games and not the championships. Although I'm sure the championships are great, I just heard from a lot of people that this is kind of, just like a mini Olympics, and the athlete village and the gear and facilities and everything is just really awesome. And now all I'm doing is just waiting to compete on Saturday. I'm excited to compete for the United States of America again. I haven't done it since the Junior Worlds last year.
National team member Zach Ray was added to the USA Pan American team this last week at heavyweight. He replaces world medalist Travel Delagnev. Ray has done very well, winning gold at the last 3 Pan American Championships.
Zach, you've wrestled in a lot of international tournaments. You've won a few, you placed in a lot. You got a chance to wrestle in the World Cup. I mean, how much does that experience help you coming into this?
Gives me a lot of confidence because I wrestled some of the best guys in the world this past year. A couple second place finishers at the World Championships, and I'm right there with them. Tervel, obviously, a bunch of times. So wrestling all these high competition guys, you know, gives me confidence and lets me know that I can wrestle at a high level of wrestling.
Well, with the World Championships just weeks away, National Freestyle coach Bruce Burnett talked about the importance of the Pan American Games.
Well, I think it's good for two reasons. One, they had to keep training after the World Team Trials. Two, they had to control their weight a little better than they might if it was a 2-kilo tournament, and so it's flat weight. They did a good job controlling their weight after the World Team Trials. Maybe it would have been better 1 week later, but the timing is pretty good the way it is right now. I like the fact that there's 2 months out, so they're going to get some training at home before they come back into Colorado Springs and hit our training camp in August, and then about 7 days off, then they hit the acclimation camp and on to Vegas. So the timing and the preparation for them to peak is really good.
Well, a live stream of the wrestling competition at the 2015 Pan American Games will be available on ESPN3 and Watch ESPN platforms. Also, check out themat.com for complete coverage of the event. We'll take a quick timeout. Stay with us, won't you? It's USA Wrestling Weekly.
Has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
All right, welcome back. We're going to head to Madrid, Spain now. 35 Americans representing all three Olympic styles saw action at the Grand Prix of Spain. In men's freestyle, the U.S. put on quite a performance, winning the team title there, along with 6 gold medals, a silver, and 2 bronze. 2015 World Team member James Green was the champ at 154. He won a 5-5 decision in the finals against past world medalist Frank Chamizo of Italy. 2 former Penn State standouts finished on top of the podium. 2-time NCAA champ David Taylor at 163 and NCAA champ Frank Molinaro at 143. Well, the Magic Man cradled Carmelo Lumia of Italy in the first period of the finals, while Molinaro earned a 5-0 shutout against Korea's Lee Sung-chul. Former Iowa star Daniel Dennis was the champ at 134. He edged out Joseph Molnar of Hungary 4-4 in the finals. 2-time NCAA champ Nick Wisdowski won his first international tournament at heavyweight. He pinned China's Deng Zhui at the gold medal round. Veteran Win Mihalik took home the title at 213. He scored a 13-3 tech fall over Spain's Hector Rodriguez. 3 junior world team members were also in competition, and all 3 medaled. In their first senior level event, it was Zaid Valencia winning a silver medal at 185, and bronze medals went to Mark Hall at 163 and Nathan Butler at 275. We stopped by the Olympic Training Center to talk with Mark Hall about his strong performance in Spain.
I felt pretty good as the tournament went on. It was a long tournament. We started at 9, and I think the last final match probably started at like midnight or so. So we were there for a while, and it was just nice being able to compete with the senior guys for the first time and get feels that maybe I don't get when I'm in the United States.
Well, the U.S. also sent a large group of women's freestylers to Spain, including 3 members of the 2015 World Team. In the end, the U.S. finished in second in the women's standings, trailing only China. 2-time world medalist Helen Maroulis tuned up for the World Championships with an impressive finals victory at 121. She beat fellow American Karleen Slaburski in the finals by a 10-0 tech fall. Joining Slaburski as a silver medalist, Jennifer Page at 138 and Tamara Mensah at 152. Mensah earned a semifinal win over 2014 world champ Aline Fakin of Germany. Bronze medals went to world team members Ali Reagan at 128 and Elena Peroskova at 152, and the U.S. Open champ Victoria Anthony at 105. Assistant National Freestyle coach Brandon Slay was a team leader at the Spanish Grand Prix and talked about the U.S. performance.
In Spain, I feel like we had a really successful trip. I watched our Greco guys, we had 3 Greco entries. I know out of the 3 guys we had entered, 2 of them wrestled for a medal. 1 of them got a medal. So I thought they battled really hard. Joe Rao, I watched him wrestle a tough guy from Sweden who I think was second in the Europeans, I believe. Get a big win over him. So I think that was, for him to have wrestled 80 kilo in the past, to bump up to 98 kilo and get a win like that, I know he was happy with that. Our women, they won a bunch of medals. I know that for the ladies, that was a challenging tournament for them because Germany brought some of their best team. China brought some tough girls, Mongolia, Japan, Korea. So I think they had a really good competition. And for our freestyle team, we end up having 6 golds, a silver, and 2 bronze. So I felt like all in all, for Team USA, it was a successful trip.
Well, Team USA had 4 athletes in the Greco-Roman competition and 2 advanced to the medal round. In his tune-up event for the World Championships, 2015 World Team member Patrick Martinez reached the bronze medal round at 174 and finished 5th. Joe Rao jumped up 2 weights and won a bronze at 215. Here's Assistant National Greco-Roman coach Ahad Damansali.
It was a great tournament. It just basically stands for his name, Grand Prix. There were a lot of world champions from Armenia, Iran, what is the name? The other countries, Armenia, Korea, they brought all those young guys, all the powers, and it was a great, basically tournament, great championship.
Get ready, Fargo, here we come. The world's largest wrestling tournament is back. The annual A6 Vaughn Junior and Cadet Nationals kick off this weekend in Fargo, North Dakota. This year marks the 45th anniversary of the Junior Nationals, an event that's had a major impact on American wrestling. More than 4,000 of the nation's best young athletes will compete for coveted national titles and All-American honors in all 3 Olympic disciplines. In the men's junior division, only 6 athletes have ever won the Junior Triple Crown, capturing titles in folk style, freestyle, and Greco-Roman in the same year. 2 Junior Triple Crown winners will return this year and try to do it again. Who are they? California's Randon Miranda at 100 and Danny Vega of Arizona at 106. The only athlete ever to win 2 Junior Triple Crowns was Michigan's Adam Kuhn. That big guy did it in 2012 and 2013, impressing everybody. Other 2014 Junior National Freestyle champs who are eligible to return include Jack Mueller of Texas at 113, Austin Assad of Ohio at 120, Mitchell McKee of Minnesota at 126, Isaiah White of Illinois at 145, New Jersey's Mason Manville at 152, and Miles Martin at 182, and Minnesota's Bobby Stevenson at 195. 2014 Junior National Greco champs eligible to compete in Fargo include Miranda and Vega, and will add in Dorian Sapien of Idaho at 113, Taylor Lamont of Utah at 126, Justin Rivera of Georgia at 182, and Samuel Colbray of Oregon at 195. Now we jump to the women's junior freestyle division. 9 of last year's junior national champs are eligible. Rana Heaton of South Dakota at 105, Marisa Beretta of Washington at 112, Dominique Parrish of California at 117, California's Gabby Garcia at 121, Maya Nelson of Colorado at 125, Taisha Allo of Hawaii at 130, Washington's Desiree Zavala at 139, Kendall Rusing of California at 159, and Taylor Rosario of Texas at 172. Well, the women's national junior duels will also return to Fargo, with Washington coming in as the defending champs. The Cadet Nationals will feature athletes 15 to 16 years old. 2014 Cadet National Freestyle champs who are eligible to return include Colorado's Malik Heinzelman at 88 and Roman Bravo Young of Arizona at 100. 2014 Cadet National Greco champs eligible include Bravo Young and Minnesota's Jake Alar at 132. Now, this will be the 5th year for the Girls Cadet National Tournament in Fargo. 2014 Cadet National champs expected to return to action include Georgia's Haley Orton at 101, Rona Heaton of South Dakota at 108, Idaho's Sierra Foster at 124, Ashlyn Ortega of Colorado at 132, and Emily Huerta of Washington at 198. Well, you can catch all the action from every match of the A6 Vaughn Junior and Cadet Nationals live on Flow, along with a complete recap on next week's show. All right, stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
All right, let's take a look at the U.S. wrestlers in this month's United World Wrestling Women's Freestyle and Greco-Roman rankings. Two-time world champ Adeline Gray kept the top spot at 165. Coming in at number 2 in the world at 121, once again, two-time world medalist Helen Maroulis. Dropping 3 spots to number 6 at 152 is 2012 world champ and 4-time world medalist Elena Paraskova. The other ranked Americans in the women's rankings include 2-time world medalist Alyssa Lampe. She's number 13 at 105. 15th in the world at 105, Victoria Anthony. Sitting at 16th at 121, Sarah Hildebrand. Also at number 16, Jennifer Page at 132. World team member Erin Claudio came in at number 19 at 138 pounds. Meanwhile, 4 Americans made it into the World Greco-Roman rankings. Holding down number 10 at 176 pounds, Joe Rao. For the 3rd straight month, Jordan Holm retained the 12th spot at 187. And 2-time Olympian Spencer Mango ranks in at number 13 at 130 pounds. And the big man, the striped sock wonder, Robbie Smith, checks in as 19th ranked heavyweight. Every American will have a chance to move up the rankings with strong international performances in July as we head toward the World Championships. Well, big news for college wrestling. Nebraska Wesleyan University has recently announced the addition of a wrestling program there to start in 2016. The team will compete in NCAA Division III, and a head coaching search already underway. Nebraska Wesleyan previously offered wrestling as a sport between 62 and 82, winning 3 conference titles in that time. So on behalf of the sport, Welcome back, Nebraska Wesleyan. We'll see you on the mat. Lots of action going on in the world of men's freestyle. A small squad of Team USA headed to the Stepan Sargsyan Cup in Yerevan, Armenia this weekend. Leading the U.S. contingent, 2015 World Team member Reese Humphrey at 134. He'll use the tournament as a tune-up or a springboard, if you will, for this year's World Championships. 3 athletes who won gold medals at the Grand Prix of Spain this last weekend will also see action in Armenia. Frank Molinaro at 143, David Taylor at 163, and Wynn Mihalik at 213. Also in action, the young and talented Richard Perry at 189. Well, the team will be coached by 1988 Olympic coach Jim Humphrey. Be sure to visit themat.com for updates throughout the week. Also this week, United World Wrestling has announced a handful of scoring modifications for freestyle and women's wrestling. In freestyle, all turns are now 2 points regardless of where they occur. Previously, hand-to-hand exposures were counted as 1 point each, but now they're going to be worth 2. The auto touch, also known as the instant fall, has also been eliminated. Step-out rules were also improved. Wrestlers who lift an opponent in the protection area will no longer be penalized for the infraction. The new rules go into effect this week at the Pan American Games and will be used at the World Championships this September. News out of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania now. The 16-year-old Lehigh Athletic Club will now compete as the Lehigh Valley Wrestling Club, or the LVWC. The change to include wrestling in the name was made to acknowledge the club's major focus on just one sport, Olympic wrestling. The club is based at Lehigh University and has both a senior-level freestyle program and a community youth program. Well, the LVWC roster is led by former Lehigh NCAA champ Zach Ray, who has made the freestyle national team at heavyweight. We told you about that earlier in the show. Other wrestlers in the program include Robert Hamlin, David Zabriskie, Nate Brown, Jared Garnett, and Santiago Martinez. The club is coached by Jeff Buxton, one of the great high school coaches in history out of Blair Academy, and has led this squad since 2014. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this short timeout.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
In episode 3 of USA Wrestling's new Bonus Points podcast, Richard Emmel caught up with Greco-Roman World Team member Robbie Smith. Known as the Beard, Smith will be competing in his 3rd straight World Championships this September in Las Vegas.
Any specific plan of attack for this tournament that's maybe different from before, or any specific goals that you want to hit in this tournament?
I want to win it. I mean, you always want to win it. I just don't want to win it for, for me. I want to win it for the team. This would be a huge, huge victory if we can get a team title here, and we have the team to do it. And I'm super excited for this tournament because we're really going to show, the world what we have.
Well, the ASICS America Corporation has announced the 15th annual ASICS Girls High School All-American Wrestling Team. It's a top honor in girls high school wrestling, recognizing the best of the nation on all 4 high school grade levels. There were 7 members of the 2014 first team who were selected as first team members once again. Making the first team for the 4th time, Alyssa LaFrancis of Poway High in California, Tashia Ello of Hawaii, and Becca Leathers of Oklahoma. Making first team for the 2nd straight year, Gabrielle Garcia of Valencia High in California, Maya Nelson of Denver East in Colorado, and Jessica Ruttier of North Pulaski High in Wisconsin. Kenya Spencer joins them as well out of Caro High in Michigan. California was the only state with more than 1 first team member, with 4 athletes honored. The others include Dominique Parrish of Scotts Valley High and Kendall Rusing of La Sierra High. Other first teamers include Marisa Beretta of Grandview High in Washington, Rona Heaton of Brookings, South Dakota, Alexis Blow of Sahari High in New York, Michaela Campbell of Wauseon High in Ohio, and Rachel Waters of Ballard High in Iowa. Most of the first team will compete in Fargo, where the A6 Girls High School Wrestler of the Year will be announced, and we, of course, will have that for you next week. All right, wrestling fans, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week. The contest includes pictures that are coming in from all around the country, great wrestling families and fans, and all these, of course, being considered for our photo contest page on our USA Wrestler magazine and our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's pick, taken by Matthew Downing, shows Kellen Downing of Kalispell Wrestling Club in Montana battling it out with Mitchell Rios of Wyoming in the Montana Open. You can have your photos considered simply by emailing them to the very hardworking Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. That'll do it for this week's show. From all of us at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.